After giving birth to her child, Bambi Benson is dealing with a health issue that no one anticipated. Startling reports have arisen indicating that her life is likely to take a turn for the worst. In serious danger, and it all began with a standard hospital stay. But what's actually happening? Why are physicians concerned? And why are there whispers circulating concerning potentially harmful hidden complications? Could this be a health scare or something more serious? Some sources say it's just the usual postpartum problems, but others believe it's a life or death crisis that might permanently alter her life. Doctors are scrambling to find answers, but is it too late? Fans of Bambi are going crazy over her family, but may the controversy surrounding her health be connected to something darker? Get ready, because we're going to delve into the startling reality that nobody is discussing: Bambi's life. Watch to learn more about Bambi Benson's terrifying health scare and whether she is actually in danger or if this is all a distraction. The answers might surprise you. You may recognize Bambi Benson from her gorgeous moments and her run-ins with trouble, but what's going on behind closed doors right now? Bambi Benson is a name linked with celebrity, luxury, and drama. But today, it's all about life or death. May make all the difference. Let's go back in time to Bambi Benson, who, after years of being in the spotlight, recently became a mother. Her followers showered her with congratulations and good wishes on social media. But behind the scenes, things were very different. It all began innocently enough when she had a standard examination at the hospital immediately after giving birth. The kind of checkup every new mother has. But what transpired next was a narrative that no one saw coming. A normal visit swiftly turned into something far more serious, and allegations surfaced that the physicians were frightened and truly worried about why this straightforward checkup was becoming something that had even medical professionals who are close to Bambi's family have acknowledged that there were issues during the delivery. But nobody realized how serious they were until much later. Was this simply a poor instance of postpartum recovery, or was there more to it? Let's talk about the rumors. There are a number of ideas circulating around Bambi's health scare. Some claim that high stress levels are the cause. There may be something terrible hiding beneath the surface, but we may never know for sure. Took a toll on her health after giving birth, while others assert that she was coping with a much more serious problem that left doctors frantically trying to find answers. Let's examine the facts as they stand. Anonymous sources have classified Bambi's condition as severe, stating that her body was having difficulty recovering. However, this isn't simply a mother's story. It might be much more difficult to recuperate from childbirth. Imagine being a famous person with all the cameras and attention on you, then having to deal with something that could end it all. As you read this, Bambi Benson may be fighting for her life. According to several rumors, she was sent to a specialist right away following her initial examination, and the physician is reportedly closely monitoring her. Circumstances. But what precisely is happening? Could it be an infection or something more worse? There is conjecture that her body might be undergoing uncontrollable reactions, which could be connected to serious consequences following childbirth. However, the specifics are at best hazy. This health crisis follows Bambi's previously reported relationship problems and health issues, which makes it much more intriguing and suspicious to the public. For those who are unfamiliar with Bambi's personal past, let's take a time to refresh your memory. Is this a typical medical condition, or might it be a part of a much greater story? Bambi is nothing in Bambi's life has ever been typical, from her turbulent relationships to her very visible life on reality TV. So her health issue is unlikely to be anything straightforward or regularity. But what's more worrying is the timing. Why is this problem only now coming to light? Why didn't her family or team speak up sooner? One reason could be that they were expecting this health trouble would just go away, resolve itself, but it didn't. And as the days went by, the public's reactions became more severe. Fans bombarded her social media accounts with questions about her well-being, expressing a mix of shock, confusion, and worry. Others are also beginning to wonder how serious this health crisis could be. Some ideas even imply that Bambi's health problems are not just physical but also mental. Given the cost of living in spotlight as a new mother and being under continual public scrutiny, not only about her health, but also regarding the emotional toll. Could Bambi's stress levels and pressure from public life contribute to this? If so, it would only add another layer of stress to her already complicated existence. And then there's the notion that Bambi's health crisis is actually tied to something far more sinister. Could it be connected to the continual media pressure she's under? Could there be some unseen forces at play? Maybe someone in her life is pulling strings behind the scenes. After all, we've seen it before in Hollywood. When things go wrong, it's seldom ever just a coincidence. As we go farther, you'll see that the pieces of this puzzle are beginning to fit together. Might this be a part of a bigger conspiracy, or might it simply the unexpected results of leading a prominent life? What does this mean for Bambi? As we get more aware that things may not be as they seem, this could be the start of a much larger story that involves more than just a health issue. Then, as the days went by and more rumors surfaced, it became painfully evident that Bambi's health crisis wasn't merely a brief period of discomfort, but rather the start of something far bigger that may eventually shape her whole future. But while the media presents a picture of healing and hope, what is actually happening? Why are things developing the way they are? And what actually transpired behind the hospital's closed doors? What does the fact that Bambi's family, friends, and even her closest allies have been kept in the dark tell us? Could there be a cover-up going on here? Or is the truth that Bambi's condition is being hidden for a reason? Or is something else at play? Much more sinister things are happening behind the scenes, and some people think that Bambi's health problems are related to the strain of the constant public attention because, after all, she's no stranger to drama. From her explosive moments on, it appears like Bambi's life has been a pressure cooker that is always about to blow up due to her public feuds and reality TV. But could there be more going on here? Could the health problems she's experiencing be the consequence of something else? Then the demands of celebrity, could it be manipulation by those closest to her, or could it be a complex plot to manipulate the story? Let's dissect this. Rumors have been circulating that Bambi's mysterious illness could be rumors regarding her prior medical history that suggests problems from previous pregnancies, or even an underlying ailment that was never properly reported to the public, which naturally generates even more worries. Why is this only now becoming public knowledge? And why has no one been aware of it for a long time? Sources have also suggested a darker side. Might Bambi's illness be the consequence of although this may seem like the stuff of tabloids, there is enough questionable behavior surrounding Bambi's health for it to be taken seriously. It was a planned act, something that was orchestrated by individuals in her inner circle. Speaking of money, we must overlook the money trail. Although Bambi has achieved success in the entertainment business, her net worth is not as high as many believe. There are speculations that her wealth has been most of her finances are said to be in ruins due to mishandled situations where she has been taken advantage of by people she trusted, and having a new baby to look after adds to the stress of financial instability. Perhaps those in her life have been using her health as a tool to control her, which is causing her health to deteriorate. However, as the story progresses, there are leaking reports that indicate Bambi was under. You may wonder what's new about celebrities being under constant pressure to maintain a flawless pregnancy and personal life photo for the cameras. But this isn't your typical Instagram post, or the temptation to keep up a perfect public image cannot be exaggerated. And according to sources, Bambi felt it more than anybody else. Could her mysterious sickness be an unpleasant consequence of? The public's response has been varied. Some supporters have united behind Bambi, but others have questioned if she is pushing herself too hard or whether it is a direct result of how her team used her for their own financial advantage. Well wishes and support, but there's a growing suspicion that Bambi's career may be coming to an end, or that her health issue may be a hint that she's about to collapse. Created public persona. But if you've been observing the specifics, you'll notice something odd. Bambi hasn't been active on social media. She has posted a few updates and sent a few cryptic messages, but nothing else. Significantly, is she removing herself from the spotlight for health reasons? Or is this all a part of a bigger story that aims to keep people guessing and talking? Could it be that her team is intentionally restricting her disclosures and managing the information that is shared? Let's go back a bit. How many times have we witnessed this identical circumstance before? Celebrities in risky health situations are frequently excluded from the spotlight for a reason, and the more time they spend hidden from the public, the more enigmatic they become. With the populace as fixated on drama and intrigue as Bambi's, this mystique can be a potent weapon. Let's now examine the Bambi's inner circle may have played a part in her health crisis. There have been rumors that her ties with intimate friends and relatives have deteriorated recently. Could this be due to something other than? Are we seeing the gradual disintegration of a meticulously crafted facade, or is there a genius behind it all? Might it have been caused by stress or heredity, or might it have been manipulated by those who stand to benefit from her vulnerability? There is a chance that people working behind the scenes are influencing the story, directing the information flow, and influencing public opinion. Some unnamed sources have even gone so far as to imply that Bambi was genuinely being pressured to make specific judgments regarding her health, that she was being compelled to disregard warning indications and continue even when her body was urging her to stop. And there are even accusations that some of her close friends and family profited from keeping her in the spotlight, despite the negative effects it was having on her health. Could her inner circle be taking advantage of her for their own gain? It's all about the money, the brand, and the recognition. You'd think that after everything Bambi's gone through, she would have learned to trust only herself. But the reality is, when you're a star like Bambi, the pressure is unlike anything. Most people can imagine the need to preserve an image is all-encompassing, and occasionally it becomes so overbearing that it drives people to make decisions they wouldn't ordinarily make. May Bambi have been too trusting, too willing to please others at the expense of her own health? Could she have been manipulated into putting everything else before her own well-being? In the next part, we'll uncover how this scandal could play out. Will it lead to legal repercussions, or will Bambi just disappear from the public eye forever? As we dig deeper into this, keep an eye out, because what comes next might completely alter the course of her career. Frightening story, the full extent of Bambi's health fear is beginning to surface in a way that might permanently upend her world. What started out as a minor health issue is now becoming into something far more serious. The questions surrounding Bambi's condition are still growing, but might this be the last straw that causes her carefully cultivated image and her entire career to collapse? Fans who formerly loved Bambi are now wondering whether they can trust her, and the consequences from this controversy has already started. The solutions are still elusive and hidden in plain sight. Were ever really aware of her identity, or were they tricked by her polished appearance? The person who constantly grinned for the cameras while feigning that everything was ideal even when it wasn't. They might have been observing a closely planned deception for years. But the truth is that Bambi's admirers are just as much a part of this tale as she is. They are the ones who fell for the glamorous, faultless celebrity persona. But what happens when that illusion shatters? What happens when they're forced to confront the truth that the person they backed may not be who they believed they were? Let's talk about the financial element of this issue, since this is when things really get interesting. Bambi's health crisis isn't just a personal tragedy, it's now a financial disaster in the making. Leaked documents reveal that the health issues have impaired her capacity to fulfill. Bambi's staff is frantically trying to hide the financial ramifications of several contracts and responsibilities that put a lot of money at risk. But the cracks are beginning to appear. To demonstrate if this is the start of the end for her multi-million-dollar brand, and how many people would lose everything if it fails. Her agents, publicists, and management all depend on Bambi to maintain her image intact. But all of these individuals might be left in the dust if her health deteriorates and the public turns against her. However, although there have been discussions about cheating scandals, divorces, and public disputes, few things in the realm of celebrity scandals are as harmful as a health problem. Differently, this isn't just rumor, this is real life, and it's happening to someone who was once a symbol of success. The public glare is ruthless, and right now, Bambi is under a microscope. Her every move, every post, every look is being probed, examined, and picked apart. It's not just about her health anymore. It's also about the story that will shape the next phase of her life, and this is where things become even more concerning. There is a rising rumor campaign among people who feel deceived, and some of Bambi's closest fans rally around her. You see, Bambi is more than just a celebrity. She is also a brand, and the moment that brand begins to waver, the vultures start to circle. A number of sources have indicated that Bambi's team might not have been able to handle her health situation effectively, or they might not have been as open with information as they should have been, and now that public confidence is declining, they are struggling to preserve what remains of her reputation. Could this controversy serve as the impetus for a more thorough examination of how celebrities? At the core of it all, though, is whether Bambi herself is truly okay and capable of handling health emergencies. Will other public personalities have to deal with the same kind of scrutiny in the future? The same composure and dignity that initially made her renowned? Or is this the point at which she crumbles under the strain that the audience is eagerly observing to see if Bambi will overcome the controversy or if this will signal the start of the end of her career? What's remarkable about the public's response is the sharp differences in viewpoints. Some believe Bambi is a victim who has been forced into the spotlight and is currently coping with the repercussions of fame. Others are less understanding, thinking that Bambi has played the game long enough and must now face the consequences. However, one thing is certain, there is no turning back. There will always be a subset of people who think Bambi isn't telling the whole truth, regardless of how she handles things. The question is how much harm she can actually repair, as some fans may have been duped. Bambi's appeal makes it obvious that the flaws in her facade are now apparent to everyone. The mystery ailment that was originally written off as a temporary setback has now turned into a full-fledged media frenzy, with fresh information emerging nearly every day. To choose who to believe, is Bambi's health truly as bad as it appears, or is this all part of a bigger story to keep the public guessing? As Bambi's crew attempts to spin the tale, one thing is for sure, the drama is far from done. Story in their favor, but everyone is still wondering what will happen next. Will she recover from this health scare, or will she fall victim to the cruel world of celebrities again? Is this a brief setback, or is this the stage is set for a dramatic finale at the start of her career, but nobody can predict how it will unfold? One thing is certain though, even though everyone is watching, and this is where things take a turn for the worse. Even worse, recent reports indicate that Bambi's health problem might not have been as coincidental as initially thought. Could her illness have been a calculated ploy to control the media and maintain her public profile? This has happened to other celebrities before drama sells, and creating a startling, enigmatic event is the best way to jumpstart a faltering career. Could Bambi have been playing the long game all along? The distinction between what is real and what is fake is becoming more and more hazy, but one thing is certain. Was this a planned risk, or is the truth more darker than we've been told? It is obvious that no one is leaving this unharmed, not even Bambi, her team, or the people who previously loved her. This scandal has the power to completely alter everything. Will Bambi weather the storm, or will this be her last deed? Time can only tell, but one thing is certain. This story is far from over. We need to hear from you immediately. Do you believe that Bambi's health crisis is all part of a well-planned scheme to keep her in the public eye, or is it an actual emergency? What do you think the true narrative behind this startling change of events is? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. And if you're still in disbelief over the information we just revealed, don't forget to hit the like button. Revealed? And if you'd like more inside information on shocking scandals, celebrity drama,